Avoir. Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of FitPet Boston Talks. My name is Leah Lodato, and I am the host of the show. Today, I am joined by my spouse, Lori.
Hello.
And she has a couple things on her mind, a short list in front of her today that we are going to get into momentarily. Before we get started, I just wanted to thank you for choosing to listen to the show. I really appreciate your listening ear and the fact that you have been keeping up with the podcast, even though we don't put out episodes with any degree of regularity. I know our attention can get pulled in a million different directions, so thank you so much for being here and listening to us talk about dogs. Historically, this podcast has interviewed local Boston area dog handling professionals. I have sat down with a variety of different people from different disciplines, and we talk about our lives, dogs, and careers. So it's been super fun over the past couple of years to build up a little bit of a network. I've made some great friends, and some people have been repeat guests and very informal here at FitPet Boston Talks. We're just hanging out in my office, which desperately needs cleaning and recording. Hopefully you enjoy what it is that you're listening to. So Laurie and I are dog trainers. I primarily am a dog walker. That's really what I enjoy doing. And we compete in a variety of different dog sports and activities with our own personal dogs. So that's a little bit of background about us. If you're brand new to the show, thank you so much. Laurie, is there anything you wanted to tackle straight away on your list there? Or how have you been? Do you want to...
No, I was going to ask you how your day went. You've already done a class. Let's talk about our days first. Yeah, I got to warm up. I haven't done this in a while.
All right. Sounds good.
And it's cold out. Except for tomorrow, guys. It's going to be warm. Get those group classes going. It's going to be toasty.
I know. Anytime it's nice out, you got to take advantage because winter is coming.
Dun, dun, dun.
Today, what did I do today? I woke up nice and early and did a woods walk class with Emily and Lottie. Lottie is a young English shepherd. You don't see very many of those around, but really, really nice dog. She kind of looks like a mix between a German shepherd and a border collie. And I would say she kind of acts like that as well, but just a super sweet dog, very, very nice. And her owner has done a phenomenal job training her. So today we did our last woods walk class. So Emily and Lottie did e-collar conditioning with me so that she can reliably be off of the leash. And pretty much right after our first class, I usually take owners right out to a field or to the woods to work in context. So we had our last class this morning. It was really early, but we did see some people out in the woods, which was great to prove her obedience around those distractions. And she did a great job. So that's what I did first. And then I came home and I groomed Murphy, who is Raven's half brother. He's a chocolate lab. I think he's around 7 years old now. Really sweet dog. I love him. And every time I groom him, he's usually a wreck. And it takes me more time just to brush him than it does to wash and dry him. So I took my time brushing him out, made sure I got all the dead coat out. And then, yeah, he doesn't mind grooming at all. So I can get him nice and dry. And he's always super sleek and shiny when he leaves. So
he talks the whole time.
He does.
The whole time in the tub. And if you talk back, forget about it. He's
whole conversation.
Yeah.
He's such a sweet dog and very similar to Raven. So it's cool to hang out with him because I see those similarities and you can definitely tell when the genetics are strong.
Yeah. They're both vocal in the tub. They both talk and whine.
Yep.
I actually love everything about Raven except for around dinner time.
Yeah, she becomes very
she's so loud.
Demanding.
Yeah, I rather just have her out because we feed our dogs in the crate, except for Buddha. I rather just have her out because then she doesn't cry.
Yeah, she loves food.
Mm-hmm. She's clearly a Lodato.
Yes.
She's took after our side.
And then what I do, I just trained with Raven for a little bit, hung out with the dogs, and now we're here. And then I have to do some book work after this, which I hate.
You hate it.
I do, but I'm going to set my timer, do it for an hour. I have things that I need to get done. They're going to get done. And then I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's not going to be hanging over my head until next week.
I have to train Buddha. I have to use my new wedge toy.
Yeah, you got a cool new toy. What's up with that?
It's beautiful. I saw somebody else with it. I got jealous. And so it's basically, it will be nice. One, it's a wedge. Okay. It's a triangle bite toy made out of jute. I have another one in suede because why would you buy just one? I have like an obsessive quality in that way. And I can heel with him. And then when his attention's really good, I can just send him to go get it. I can't really do that with a sleeve, but it has the same vibe as a sleeve. I can just lay it nice and flat and he can get a full mouth bite on it. So I'm excited to use it. And I bought a few other tugs. Did you see them? I hid them in a box so you wouldn't find them.
I did not. Keep them hidden.
I will, because every time I get something and I think this is a wonderful toy, somehow it disappears. And I find it in Leah's training bag.
Yes.
A little rude.
Or, God forbid, it gets lost in the abyss of the car.
Oh. I just do a search of the car every once in a while if I'm looking for leashes. I find them all. Mm-hmm. It's really something.
I do a pretty good job of cleaning out my car once a week because if I don't, it will be just disgusting. I cart around dogs all day and golden retrievers and yellow labs and dogs that shed a lot. And so if I don't vacuum and air blow the car out at least once a week, I will get in there and immediately start sneezing.
Yeah, cleaning tip. Just take a leaf blower to the car. That's what I do. Mm-hmm. I get my backpack leaf blower on and I just right through the car, open all the doors so everything's blowing out.
Yep.
Be done with it.
Yep.
The sweet smell of gasoline.
And I almost feel like some dog people, not mentioning any names, and I actually don't have anybody in mind as I make this statement.
Don't be a smart ass. You talking about me?
But no, not at all. But
okay.
Dog people, their vehicles are just not in good shape. And it's almost this badge of honor. I'm a dog person, so my car is disgusting. And I just don't, I spend so much time in my car that I don't want it to be dirty, even if I am working and doing productive things. So I keep it as clean as possible because that's really important to me. And it's important if I show up at a client's house and I open my car and maybe I'm going somewhere with a client, or maybe I just want to see if their dog will jump into my car, like kind of test their willingness. And I don't want to open my car and have it be a disgusting mess. And there's my customer right there.
We've seen dog shit fall out of dog people's cars.
Oh, 100%.
It's a little rough out there.
Yeah.
It's rough out there.
Yeah. Keeping stuff clean is important.
Ah.
Yep. And I have mild allergies. Like, I'm allergic to cats.
Wait till you get older. All your allergies get worse.
And I'm not allergic to dogs, but if I go into an environment that's just saturated with like fur and dander, I definitely start to sneeze and just get that feeling. And that can happen to me in my car if I don't clean it out frequently. So I'm a little sensitive to that.
I think about buying those filters, and then I just think it's one more thing for me to clean.
I know. Another piece of
out
equipment.
The filter. Take a hike. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it.
I know. We probably should be breathing clean air at night, but we open the windows.
Yeah. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Perfect weather lately for
air.
Opening the windows and
looking
piling
over,
the blankets on the bed.
Seeing Leo with a hat on, a hoodie, a zipper hoodie, a hoodie above the hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good times.
It is. All right. What's the first thing there on that list, Lori?
Well, you were talking about the car and then using your car and seeing the willingness of a dog to get in. Mm-hmm. A lot of the times we start a training class or we don't see the parent get out of the car. I do because I make parents stay in the car until I walk to the car because I don't know if a class is leaving before them. So I say, please stay in your car. I have like a list of rules before somebody comes in, class guidelines. Maybe people want to do this to trainers if it drives you crazy. I don't like people just walking about the property. So I say, stay in your car. And, we'll walk together. I want to make sure the dog is safe when they come out of the car. I mean, I have owners that just open the car door and the dog runs out. I'm like, oh, does your dog have a recall? No. Well, why don't you hold the leash? How about we do that? So they're in the car. So I get to see the dogs come out and parents will say, I can't get them in and out of the car. I said, okay, we'll work on that. So we end up working on that. And I think it's important. I think parents keep hoisting their dogs' asses up. Like, these are dogs that get on the couch and the sofa just fine. They're leaping from things in the house, which is why they're coming to us, because they're crazy. So get a little step. So I get like a little medical step. I teach the puppy to go up on that, and then I put it next to the car door, and then before you know it, the dog is just jumping in. Or you can put a treat on the bottom where people put their feet, and then
That's me. I'm sorry.
where people put their feet, and then the dog will hop in and hop out. So that's like a really important thing. And parents always say, why don't the dog just know it?
Well, I think that it has to do with, first of all, I want to make sure that the dog is not compromised in any way, like their health is good enough for them to jump in, because some of these SUVs, including mine, are pretty tall, and I think I've made modifications to make it easy for them to jump in. So that's number one, just making sure your dog physically can jump in the car. But sometimes I think it's a little bit of a reflection of the type of relationship you have with your dog if they're just unwilling to do something that clearly you want them to do. And something that's worked well for me is, I'll take Sage, for example. So Sage is a 1-year-old black lab who is a black lab in every way. And she can be a little bit stubborn. And sometimes it's a matter of like, I don't want to get back in the car. I want to keep doing what it is that I'm doing.
Having fun.
Yeah. And, you know, she is physically capable of jumping in the car, and she jumps in the car no problem when we're leaving her house. But when we're coming back from the woods, she can be a little bit of a nudge about it. And because I've done quite a bit of training with her now, I just started adding a little bit of leash pressure, like just small little leash pops, right? She's standing there. She doesn't want to get in. Teeny tiny little leash pops. And eventually she was just like, all right, I guess I'll get in, and jumps in the car. That's a good girl, right? And
you mean she won't get in the car when she comes back from the woods?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that worked for her because I have the type of relationship where that's how I hold her accountable for other things, right? Like a recall. How do we hold the dog accountable? We use the electric collar if we need to. Any behavior. Once the dog is kind of understands what's going on, you can use the leash to help out. But if the dog doesn't understand that because you haven't used it in different contexts, it just looks like you're dragging your dog into the car, right? By the throat, which you definitely don't do that, right? So for her, that worked out perfectly. And now I don't have to do anything. I open the doors, I get in, and she gets right in. And I think it's a personality too. Olive was the exact same way. I had the hay of a time getting in her inside the car after a hike. There were a few times in the very beginning where she was running away from me. I'm sorry that's happening, Lori. I shut it off. Okay. Because she didn't want to get back in the car and go home. So the leash helped tremendously because as we were approaching the car, I would just pick up the leash, and that way there's no option to give me the runaround. And then she was super easy though because she was older when I started working with her. And again, another black lab, but an older female black lab.
They're from the same breeder.
Same breeder, same home. And to me, that worked really well. So like if the dog understands what you're asking them to do, it's okay to hold them accountable to it. And as far as like the leash pressure part goes, it's not dragging the dog. It's just like, come on, get in, like little leash pops in the direction that you want them to go. And the leash pops go away as soon as the dog gets into the car. Like not on a prong collar, not a remote, just a regular collar. Like, hey, can you get up here? And for most of my dogs, that works completely fine. I think throwing treats in the car can be great too, just to empower the dog, to show them that they physically can do it. But that's something that I tried to fade quickly because I don't want, especially with a dog like Sage, she'll just think that I'm bribing her to get up in there because she'll do anything for food. But when it comes time to fade the food, same with the kennel. Like I'm at the point with her now where I'm like, kennel, and I'm not going to throw a piece of food in there. Like maybe I'll give you one when you get in it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to throw a piece of food in because I realize like this dog won't get into this crate unless I throw a piece of food. So now it's like if she doesn't get in, same thing. Like I reach down, I touch her collar, and she immediately is like, okay, I have to do this, and she'll get in. And now I'm at the point where I don't have to do anything. She just gets right in. So that's how I usually do it. Obviously, everybody's different. Steps are great, especially for older dogs.
Or puppies that just can't reach.
Yeah.
And I used to have them, when I used to go to the field all the time, I used to call the dogs back to the car, put them all in, shut the door. I'm such a psycho. And then I'd open the door up again. I'm like, okay, go play again. So they knew that it wasn't the end.
Right.
the end of it all. And with parents, it's just easier to say, yeah, throw a treat in there, tell them to kennel up. And then usually after a while, the dog will just start doing it unless they're a particular personality. And then you have to wean too. You're like, no, you just get in the damn crate. And usually it's just a little leash pressure on the flat collar.
Yep.
There have been so many dogs that I've just stood there and looked at them and they look at me. And then eventually they walk in.
Yep.
I'm like, thank you. Or this is the best. I go to get a slip lead because I don't have it on me. And as soon as they see me get the slip lead, they just walk into the crate. They're like, you know what, Laurie? There's no need. And they just walk in.
They are funny.
They're waiting.
Yep.
TikTok. She's looking at her watch. She's like, you going to get that? Okay, I'll go in now. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So one of my moms, my other dog did this. You know, her dog passed and she got a younger dog. And I said, I know, but that dog was older. And this guy's a little bit more shy. You're going to have to work with him a little bit harder, to the point where she's bringing him to a social place 3 times a week. And this is very different for her because Melissa and I raised her first dog. And she said, why don't I remember any of this? And I said, well, that's because Melissa and I did it. And now I don't do day school like I did with Melissa. I had day school every single day. So Melissa and I were all about the town, like going to the field or going to a shopping plaza and whatever. And as I've seen my parents transition to their new dog after they lost their first one, I do see them struggle
Big
more
time.
in these private classes because they have to do it. They have to do it. And it's just terrible. For a few of them, I've taken the dogs for 2 days a week to do a little like mini day school with them, and it's worked beautifully. And I have like such a good relationship with these incoming dogs. It makes me happy. That's really what makes me happy. Daycare doesn't really do it for me. It really makes me just feel like a babysitter.
Yeah.
And they play and they get their activity, and we do what we do. I make sure the dog goes home tired. I make sure it's fair play. Oh God, I had everyone on a leash the other day. It was so annoying. I have this black lab who's a psycho, and she just brings this different energy to the whole group. And I know everyone knows what I'm talking about. And I had to put a leash on her, and I put a leash on the other dog that she always eggs on. And it finally dissipated a little bit. I tried the vibration collar. That didn't work. Then I have another one who's an intact male, and he's humping, and like I can only do so much. So I'll remove, I start to put different groups together. Obviously, having everyone like each other is great, but you also can't hump everyone, guys.
There's rules. Mm-hmm.
So I just been like,
well, it's funny
messing
too,
around
because
with leashes all day.
The old school dogs, they're older and they're trained. And then when the new puppy comes, it seems like they just don't hold a candle to that dog,
right,
that you had, or your older that passed away, or the older dog that's trained. And the owners, I mean, I can think of 3 right off the top of my head.
Me too.
The owners are just like, what is going on? How did I get this psycho dog? And in one case, I told the owner, I said, you are never going to have a dog like that one, who was her first dog. She was going back to the same breeder and got another dog from the breeder. But I told her, I said, he is exceptional. When you get another dog, you can't compare to him because he's that cool. And
it's not the same mom and dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
totally.
you might get something similar to your dog if it's the same mother and father.
Yeah, but
the
what
same
are the odds?
breeder.
What are the odds of that happening over the course of like
Not
5
much.
years? The female's probably gone, right? Like not breeding anymore. But yeah, it's hard. And I also think people just blank out when they have a puppy. I have so many videos of Raven when she was a puppy that I legitimately do not remember taking.
I remember.
You remember. I don't remember. I've looked at 10 from November 2022, and I'm like, I don't even remember her being this small. I don't remember using this toy. I don't remember that bed.
Well, people block out trauma. Right? It's a very traumatic time. You were so stressed out. Dog trainers are so stressed out when they have a puppy because the puppy has to be good.
Yeah.
Imagine walking into a class and you have your dog there and he's acting like an asshole and the person's like, oh, good, you're going to train me? Awesome. Look at your shithead dog.
Yeah, I did not want that at all. And we just put a lot of pressure on ourselves when we have puppies because we don't want anything bad to happen to them. We don't want them to have a traumatic experience, but we also want to train them and lay a good foundation and all of the things. And then you're up in the middle of the night for the first month. And so you're just sleep deprived. That's just how it goes. And Raven was quite difficult to potty train because she was really young when we got her. So she was just up every single night. And then when she was potty trained, that dog was up at 4 o'clock in the morning every single day. It was pitch black outside. We try to get her to bed as late as possible, but we have to go to bed early because our day starts
It's never
early.
ending.
And I just remember when that dog slept until 5 a.m., I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. She like snorts cocaine. I know. That's her sugar packet in her coffee. We wake up and she's already brewed it and she's sitting there looking at us with her little deltoids sticking out. She's like, are you ready?
Are you ready? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that people just block out what they had to do when the dog was a puppy because it's so intense. And then they're like, I want to do it again. And man, it is a full-time job.
I don't have that feeling right now. I love raising other people's puppies.
Yeah.
I'm like a grandma, you know? I get to send them home.
But we even had an 8-month-old golden retriever, and she was up every day at 4 a.m.
I know, man. In her defense, she peed and pooped every time. Because if I get up at that time and the dog just goes outside, sits down and looks at me, I'm like, really? Really? Did we have to do this? I had 60 minutes left before the day took its toll. So she did. She went. And then you just put her back in the crate and she slept some more. But parents have to make sure that, they don't make that the start of the day.
Yes. Go back to bed.
I had parents.
If your dog wakes up at 4 a.m., have them go to the bathroom. And if you're not ready to get up yet, which most people are not ready to get up at that hour, just go back to sleep.
Yeah. And then start your day after you've had your
Don't turn the lights on and brew coffee because the dog's going to think that things are happening.
Yeah.
That's normal.
I don't even like to put on our automatic coffee maker.
No.
I don't, because the dog starts sniffing it.
Yeah. Oh, is that Verona roast?
Lori? Yeah. Is that dog roast? Excellent. Just smelling it, I have to go. Lori! Lori! So yeah, puppy is super hard. And I've been having a lot of these puppy owners and dealing with family dynamics because after the first dog died, the mother always seems to need the most time to heal. And the father and the kids are pushing the mother to get another dog. So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. I am seeing these women in their mid-40s and they just got rid of their kids or the kids are older. They don't need to be babysat. They're not in Uber all day. And they had this great dog that could enjoy, going for walks with or sitting down while they have some time for themselves. And then their dear friend dies and now they have a new puppy.
And they're probably going through like perimenopause.
You bet your ass they are. They are going through menopause and they are angry. Angry. And they have no patience. And when nobody's helping them in the house, that just fuels the fire. I honest to God, I think there should be just a podcast for women in menopause who decided to get puppies. Because I'm looking at these women. Yes, I understand. I absolutely understand. If I 2 years ago had gotten a puppy, I don't know how I would have coped.
Yeah. I mean,
it's crazy
because it takes a lot of patience to have a puppy, obviously. And you're going through that time of your life, you're losing your patience. So you're trying to work against your emotions and you have to be able to take a deep breath and have that patience, because you made a really nice analogy the other day, Lori, where you were talking about a little kid, and when you teach the little kid how to walk, you don't just
I was so mad at
the kid and say walk.
It was
right.
Yeah, a mom said to me, "My family won't help me. They won't bring treats on a walk or anything. The dog likes toys too, because they think it's a bribe." And I said, so your husband said this, the one that doesn't come to class? And I said, why don't you go home and tell him, I'll just blame menopause for this one. I'll be like, why don't you just tell him, honey, we didn't take our baby and throw him in the middle of the road and say, walk, bitch. Okay? You put them in a little mobile thing and they scoot along. Oh, it's so cute. Let's take a video. Then you hold the little arms up and they waddle away. Oh my God, so cute. But did you throw the baby in the middle of the road and say, walk, bitch? No, you didn't. You gave him a little something. Now, didn't you? Same thing with the diapers. Did you leave your kid just hanging around in a crib, letting him go whenever? No. I believe that you needed diapers first. But no, puppies at 10 weeks old are expected to go to the door and bark or walk to their parent, look at them, and then go outside, go to the bathroom in the same spot right away, and then go back inside and be a perfect dog.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. And obviously we're not putting diapers on dogs, but the analogy is it takes time in order to teach a kid, and it takes time in order to teach a dog. And if anything, it takes a dog way less time than it takes a kid to get potty trained. But yeah, you're going to have accidents in the house sometimes. You're going to learn right along with the dog. And it's important to, you might bring the dog outside. Dog doesn't go to the bathroom. You go back inside, you play a little bit, you put the dog in the crate, and then 5 seconds later, the dog is barking because it has to go. That's what happens.
Yeah.
And you have to take the dog out, even though you need to do other things. And that's just the way that it is. And eventually they'll get older and be able to hold it for longer or get less distracted when they're outside. But that's how it is. It's not linear and it's not smooth. And it can be frustrating, but you have to have the most frustrating thing is like you bring a dog outside in the middle of the night. They sit there and stare at you. They don't go to the bathroom. You put them back in the crate. 15 minutes later, the dog's barking again.
Yeah, because they're like, I made a mistake. I didn't realize you were going to take me in so soon.
Yeah, and then you're like,
I didn't know that was my only chance.
Okay, what's the bark? Is it really desperate?
Yeah. You're like, do they mean it? And Leah and I will switch off. And so, I'll get back in the bed or she will. And I was like, are they lying? She's like, they were lying. Fuck. Were they telling the truth? Yes, they went. So, but yeah, those are like 30 steps that parents don't even want to do, especially when you're in a rush, because parents are always in a rush. They got to get the kids into the car. The same reason that the dog doesn't know how to jump into the car. So one of the moms is like, yeah, she won't go in, and then just drags this pancake of a dog across the cement to the car. I go, dude, look. I'm like, you are choking this dog out. I said, sometimes just a little, hey, bud, let's go.
Just walk around a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of walking directly to the car with the dog on a leash, just walk around a little bit.
Yeah, a little happy.
When they start following you, walk over to the car. And the other thing is, you got to pick puppies up sometimes. Just pick them up and put them in the crate. Pick them up and put them in. If they're really little, 8, 10 weeks old, it's okay. You can just pick the dog up. I was actually recently talking to somebody with a puppy, and she's like, they just won't go in the crate. It's like just a 9-week-old doodle. Then that the dog is just tiny. Like, just pick the dog up and put them in. No big deal.
Yeah,
Shut
do
the
a
door.
Little tush push.
Yeah,
do a little tush push.
No big deal.
Yeah. So that was the bathroom training, and then the walking. I had to go to the house today. It was a home visit, and that's what I told the wife to tell her husband. And I thought that husband was gonna just pop out of nowhere. He didn't, though. He didn't. They had a Noom camera, so I waved. Okay. Just in case he was looking.
That's one of my favorite pastimes.
A little wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wave at people's Ring cameras when I know they're not home.
Yeah. Everything's A-okay.
Leave them a funny message.
Mm-hmm. So that was that. Oh, and you said something, Leah. You said it's not like they put diapers on dogs.
Ooh.
So let me go on a tangent.
Okay. I have my coffee.
Okay. So one of my dog parents who I didn't feel particularly close to, so I was like, do I want to take this dog overnight? And I'm like, I don't know. So I said no, because I needed to learn more. I always say, training a dog is dating, right? The group classes, you end up getting engaged. And if you're taking care of this dog all the time, that's married. I didn't know if I wanted to get married. Anyway, so she starts looking for somebody who will take care of her dog overnight for a couple days. And she said, well, this dog has a few issues. One is this puppy is a lawnmower. She with a vengeance. She can't even focus. She can't even play with other dogs. She can't be walked across the grass without ripping up, really, guys, like you would think she was a Rottweiler or a Shepherd with how much grass she's able to pick up and dirt and then swallow it. So she was like taking it to the back of her throat. And we fixed that today. Yes. Okay. So she was explaining to the woman, you cannot bring this dog near grass ever. So this was before we were able to work on all this stuff. And she said she's going to have to go out frequently. She's a puppy. So if the dog is loose in the house, not in their crate, you have to take them out a little bit more often. She said, oh, don't worry. I use diapers. And the woman goes, what? She said, I put diapers on all the dogs. And this woman charged $115 a night. And she didn't have the energy to walk that puppy outside to go to the bathroom. She thought it was easier to put a diaper on.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, that's just terrible.
It's terrible.
You told me that story and I was like, what?
I mean, my mouth was open the whole time. I said, I'm so sorry that that's the experience you had. And if I was a pet parent and somebody told me that, I would question every single person that was going to take care of my dog.
Yeah.
So because there's people like that out there, of course parents are going to be asking a billion questions and not trusting you as a dog handler when they find out. Sure as shit, the woman sent a picture of a bunch of dogs in her house and, 3 of them were sitting and they all had diapers on. I'm sure she's
so weird.
I'm sure she doesn't do it with it's like I don't know, it's like one of the TV shows like My Strange Addiction or something. You don't want to think that people are doing this. You open to this house of horrors where every dog is wearing a diaper. And what if that dog ate the diaper? I don't have enough shit to worry about. Mm-hmm. Now I have to worry about a puppy tearing a diaper off and swallowing it. And also a dog who loves to suck up foreign objects, whether that's in the dog or it was kind of encouraged by the parents when they keep ripping things out of the dog's mouth. I mean, so I was beside myself. Another time, one of my dog mom, dad, whatever, they didn't get back in time and they left their dog with somebody from Rover. And I said, I don't like to do this, but I said, I will pick the dog up. And usually I never do that. I never pick a dog up from somebody else. In this case, I took pictures, made sure, whatever, that when I got the dog that this is what they looked like. Anyway, he had a dent on his waist. And she said, I have to put a diaper on him because he marks everywhere in the house. So there is another person out there who is putting a dog in a diaper because they mark everywhere.
Well, the bigger issue with that particular dog is he doesn't mark everywhere. He is a marker. And you have to keep your eye on him. And I wouldn't leave the vacuum cleaner out when he's loose. But if he's just in our space, he never just pees on stuff. And we've known this dog forever. He's a little dog and he's a great dog. But yeah, I mean, there's never been a point where Laurie has said, we should put a diaper on this dog. We have to keep an eye on him when he's in the house and he's outside and he goes to the bathroom and then we bring him back and he hangs out in his crate, eats in his crate, and he's not a problem whatsoever.
Don't get me wrong. He lifts his leg on every single thing outside.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a fear of correcting a dog. Is it a fear of correcting the dog or they just don't know how to manage it? But then
I think that these people that board for Rover or do home boarding, and I only know this because I've seen it with my eyes, they don't use crates all the time. And a lot of the time the dogs are just loose in their home, and as I sit here in the office, there's carpet in here. We have a futon with a fleece blanket over it. There's tons of stuff that a dog would pee on in here. And if we just had dogs,
if we didn't know
loose in the house and one of them just so happened to wander in here, and then I come in here 2 hours later and notice that there is a spot on the carpet or on the side of the sofa, I can understand how that would be a huge pain. And I would think, well, I can't watch the dog all the time, so I better put a diaper on him. But that's not how our setup is for our dogs. And
we watch them when they're loose.
And they're not just loose all of the time. And they're completely safe and it works. So I think that some people get in over their heads with home boarding if they don't have a good setup and they don't understand what's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
Yeah, like maybe, like I said, maybe they just don't know how to handle it, or they don't want to correct the dog if they do that. But man, the fear I have that if all these dogs are loose, that there could be some conversations between two dogs that for some reason I miss because if there's a lot of dogs, or I leave the room and those two dogs have been talking and I didn't see it. I mean, I barely want to turn my back sometimes to just put a load of laundry in.
Right.
I can't fathom, because eventually the shit is going to hit the fan. Or what if somebody swings a door open and the dog walks out?
Right.
And nobody's none the wiser, especially people who have other people living in their house that aren't dog savvy people. What if you're a rover person and you have a kid?
Well, I think you just hit the nail on the head, Laurie, because what happens is people are looking for a way to make a few extra bucks. And, I can just take care of some dogs. It'll be easy.
That's not an easy way to make dough.
And it's not, right? It's a whole other level of responsibility.
Like maybe DoorDash, that's easy.
Yeah.
But to take care of a life, and if something happens to that, I mean, this is why I am the way I am. I just don't want things to happen. But yeah, he had a little diaper dent on him, for the love of Pete.
And we take care of dogs sometimes, whether we're taking care of them or I'm walking them or whatever, that are incontinent. As dogs get older, we have one right now. And we have to let them out more. We have to monitor how much water they're drinking, make sure that they have access to it, but they're not drowning themselves. And then all day long, we're letting dogs out. I've even gone so far, if I am walking a dog and I get to the house early and I know that the owner is not going to be back and the dog's getting older, I go back after my day is done to let that dog out just in the yard to go to the bathroom, because I know that they're going to have a hard time holding it. And I don't even charge for it. I'm just like, whatever. I don't want to be responsible. And not responsible, but I feel bad if this dog had to go to the bathroom and the last thing that they want to do is go to the bathroom inside the house. So, yeah, dogs get older, they change. I mean, my sister's dog, diabetes, he was really struggling with going to the bathroom inside the house, and it was really challenging. It's like you just got to take him out more. And luckily, they found a medication that's working for him, which is awesome. But that's the opposite end now. Also, the dogs who are incontinent, those are the dogs who are water obsessed. It's just any dog who has an incontinence issue, if you give them a bowl of water, they are finishing that bowl. So I got to the point where they have their own separate water bowl. So I give them the joy of finishing the bowl, but it's not a large bowl. Like I almost monitor it. Yeah, we have those teacup-sized stainless steel bowls, and we'll put like half a cup of water in it, and then they can enjoy that in their crate. Drink it dry, and then, that's their water.
When they drink too much, they end up throwing up.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, that didn't work. Anyway, so your sister, she's the opposite end now. She has an older dog, and your sister adopted a pit, and he had his issues when he was younger, didn't even want to walk down the road. Your sister worked through it. He's not the friendliest of dogs all around, but still cool guy.
Really cool dog.
You don't bother him. He doesn't bother you.
Great family dog, too.
Yep, loves the kids. But she had kind of asked me, are we doing too much? Blah, blah, blah. I said, no, I mean, if this has an easy solution, because Gus became a relatively easy dog to live with. He was quiet. Your sister got the same thing that always happens, right? They have a dog first, then they have children, got a new house, and now he's just part of the family. And then when they get older, they start to have problems. It could be diabetes. It could be an eyesight problem. It could be that they start to go a little lame. So you have to give them some medications. Maybe they're on gabapentin, which is the secret sauce for every vet these days. They won't give me metronidazole anymore, but my God, do they pass out carprofen and gabapentin like they're Tic Tacs.
Chiclets.
Again, I'm going off topic. Just give me the metronidazole. No, you can only have a probiotic. By the way, guys, if you're taking care of dogs and they have like explosive diarrhea, which is our favorite term to use for all dogs, they're only going to give you a probiotic.
I know. They don't give metronidazole anymore.
Nope.
Unless the dog has some other symptom, like they have fever or they're throwing up and going to the bathroom. It's like so hard to get metronidazole. And the trouble with metronidazole is it works. better than anything else.
Right. But if a dog has never had it, don't be dosing.
Yeah.
If a dog's never
hand it out willy-nilly.
Yeah. If a dog's never had it, don't think that you're going to play vet because they could have a neurological side effect from it. So be careful with what you do.
And maybe that's why vets are hesitant. I don't know why, but yeah, it's tough. We had a dog, I think I talked about this before, that was sick for too long. And when you're taking care of dogs and they get sick, it's so freaking stressful because, especially if they're little. If they're little, I my head starts spinning because I get so worried.
You get ribs right away.
Yeah.
You start to see ribs right away. And if a small dog gets dehydrated, you're worried.
Yeah, very, very worried. So the other issue with probiotics, and I'm glad that this came up because something that I learned from the Feed Real Institute. So for those who don't know, I did a course at the Feed Real Institute and became a certified canine nutritionist through that organization. And that organization really focuses on feeding dogs whole foods. If anybody's interested in learning more, hit me up. I try to help people add whole foods to their dog's diet, which I think is a really, really good thing. Anyway, one of the things that we talked about in that curriculum were probiotics. And obviously there are a lot of different strains of probiotics because it's bacteria, right? But one of the things that I learned was that probiotics need a chance to populate in your dog's gut before food hits their system. And I do not know why vets either don't know this or don't communicate this to owners, but you really should feed probiotics separately from the meal. And the most popular thing to do with a probiotic powder is crack it open and just put it like Splenda on top of the dog's food. And what happens is when food enters the dog's stomach, digestive enzymes start working, and those digestive enzymes kill the probiotics. So if you feed your dog probiotics by just sprinkling it on top of their food and adding water, you're really not getting anything out of the probiotics. So you can mix the probiotics with a little bit of warm water. You can add a little bit of full fat yogurt if your dog can handle dairy. Something that I like to do, I just have a little bit of bone broth powder that the dogs just love. If I have a dog that's not eating, I can put that on their kibble and they'll just eat it right up. It's really, really good. And you can mix that bone broth powder with a little bit of water and feed that to them an hour or two before their meal. So this is true if you get like those ProViable capsules or the paste, or if you're using the Alpha Dog Nutrition probiotic powder. When my dogs get diarrhea, that's what I do. I feed them that in the morning. I don't feed them the dairy. I'll just mix it with a little bit of the water and broth. And that's how to get the most out of those probiotics, because I think that they are beneficial. But if we don't feed them in the right way, it's just like something that makes us feel good. Yeah. More than anything. And they're very expensive, no matter where you get them from.
Yeah, you can get them on Amazon too. You don't have to get them from the vet. So, like I said, if you're taking care of a dog, ProViable is what they always recommend.
And it is a great product, I believe.
It works. It did work.
Product. Yep.
I'm not going to lie. It did work. The only thing I was aggravated at is paying a vet bill that didn't need to be paid. I could have just done the probiotic.
We have probiotics.
Yeah. So that was that. So we were talking about Gus, and Gus is coming along in age, and it's just I feel like he didn't cause any problems, and now like he had some accidents in the house, and if you're able to solve your dog's problem with one medication, that's not a bad thing, guys. Like he's doing all right. Gus is doing all right. He's doing
awesome. So they gave him an eye drop for the diabetes, and they gave him the drop at nighttime. And it worked instantly.
Can you explain that to me, the drop?
No,
thing?
because I don't actually know what it does, but I can get more information about the drug. I don't know exactly how it works.
I want to find out, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, but they gave him it's a human medication. It's not a dog medication. So that night that they gave him that eye drop was the first night in weeks that he didn't wake them up to go to the bathroom. And then after he finished his meal in the morning, he didn't drink any water, which is unusual because, to your point earlier, he was drinking all of the water in the bowl that was available dry. I mean, he just was so thirsty all the time. So with one medication, it works. I mean, we've had different discussions with dog people that believe different things when it comes to medications to kind of keep a dog alive for longer. But if it's just one and it's so simple like that, I mean, why not do it? And it doesn't break the bank either.
And he has diabetes. So that is a problem and easily, solved.
Yep.
Usually what ends up putting a dog down is cancer.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking terrible.
Or lameness.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they just can't walk anymore.
And then they lose control of everything. I mean, I've had all of those things with my older dogs. It's very difficult. And, man, acid reflux in older dogs is crazy.
Feed your dogs whole foods. Start now.
So that,
especially with diabetes, get them off the carbs.
But that's really a lot too. That's really been bothering me. Bella had really bad acid reflux, and they said, "Oh, you can have her on
Pepsid."
Yeah, what is it? Omeprazole, whatever the fuck. So, I feel like the Pepsid contributed to her behavior, that the pacing. She wasn't like that. There would be pacing. She was literally, it was like I was watching a grandmother with Alzheimer's. And I feel like, and I don't know if this is true, I just feel like after so long, I feel like that Pepsid was, I'm giving her this drug and I thought it was making her a loon.
Interesting.
But I have had dogs have cancer. I have had them have such bad acid reflux. I mean, remember with Ripa, we were feeding her like 4 small meals just for dinner. Like we were breaking her dinner up into 4 meals because of she was throwing up. I mean, it was such a shit show. She had a tumor too, Seamus, cancer, and Bella was just, the poor thing. She was just so old.
Yeah.
And becoming crippled. So, and losing her, Bella was probably the dog that I didn't call it when I should have, right? Seamus, I didn't have a choice. And Ripple was certainly a choice. But yeah, that was it. But there's reasons to, good valid reasons to start thinking about, the end. And then there are others where, no, they just need a medication. Calm down.
Yeah.
It's your best friend.
I think some of the issues that old dogs deal with definitely can be addressed via diet if you're able to start earlier on in the dog's life. And that's, again, another thing that I learned from the Feed Real Institute. Like, you're not going to help your dog getting older and having ailments. It just is what it is, right? But as far as things like diabetes are concerned, or even like any itis disease or even cancer, like the more I read and learn and listen to people, if we can start to feed our dogs real food a little bit earlier in life and just balance out that carbohydrate load that is so heavy in kibble, I think that it may be able to affect their quality of life. And a lot of people don't really understand that because the problems don't creep up until the dog is getting to be like middle-aged or older. But it is something that if you have a young dog and you have the means, it might be worth experimenting a little bit earlier in the dog's life, right? So like in my sister's case, it's like the dog has diabetes. You could start feeding it raw and cooked food tomorrow. Like that problem is probably not going to go away. But if the dog's 4 or 5 years old and you can start again, like lowering that carbohydrate load, because kibble is just so heavy in carbohydrates. It's like 50 to 60% carbohydrate, right? It just helps with things like insulin resistance and inflammation and stuff like that. So it's something to look into. It's not to poo-poo anybody's decisions, but it's something that I'm definitely doing for our dogs, especially since 2 of the 3 are getting a little bit older now.
We still feed kibble. And also, I can't get on the raw thing. I can't get on the raw bus.
Well, Buddha doesn't enjoy raw food. He just
Thank
doesn't like
God.
raw food at all. So it's really funny. I'm like, I'll give him something like totally amazing, and he'll just like literally put his nose and sniff it and just look up at me and just give me my cooked chicken, bitch.
And by giving him something fabulous, I looked over and Leah had put the food bowl down, and Buddha sniffs it, sits down, and looks at me. And I said, Leah, did you give him raw food? Well, maybe. I said, he doesn't like it. And then me and Buddha give each other a little fist bump. I go, good boy. And I throw away that terrible raw food. And he gets his kibble. And it's one thing, if Leah's cooking up some chicken and sweet potato and adding whatever potions go along with that, powders, I'm all for it. But I cannot. So I just want to make sure that it's 50-50 here. If everyone's like, she's pushing that raw food, Laurie's not. And when I came home the other day and I smelled that fish, oh my God. I mean, guys, what? I went to the gym at 6:00. I come back and right away I blame the old people. I was like, are you guys cooking fish this early? Italian people. Oh no, honey, that's from downstairs. And I go downstairs and Leah has it's something. It's on the counter. It's running down the counter. It's got everything. It's got fish. There's raw things. Things are cooking. So don't worry. There's 2 of us, folks.
Well, I bonused out because
Yay, kibble.
my friend who's a hunter was like, hey, I got to defrost my freezer. You want all this stuff? And I said, absolutely.
I'll have to thank him.
Hunter friends are just the best.
Aren't they?
Yes, and I enjoy the venison myself. It's so good. So, well, Dad and I enjoy the venison.
That's nice.
You don't, and the dogs do.
Was that what was in the sauce last night?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not at all. Nope. Yeah, so I get it, and I understand. Everybody has different tolerances. But there's cooked. You can always cook the food. Cooking is good, too.
Yeah, you don't have to use fish.
You don't have to use fish.
Oh,
although some fish is good. Don't completely shut the door on fish.
We agree on so much.
Yeah. But I just want to do what's best for them and keep them healthy for as long as possible and try to avoid medications. Not that medications are bad, but they, that's another thing that I learned from the Feed Real Institute. Like, when dogs are on medication long term, some of these medication causes nutrient deficiencies, like vitamin and mineral deficiencies, because there's a hair follicle test you can get for your dogs if you raw feed or cook for them. And if you're just curious to see if you're kind of hitting all those bases, you can pick up one of those hair follicle tests and send it away and it will tell you. But the original reason why this test was even developed is for dogs that are on medications for a long time, because they can cause nutrient imbalances. So,
as a human, I don't want to be on medication. Yep. Because one thing leads to another. I was a nutritionist. I used to work in a hospital. We had frequent flyers all the time because of the medications that they were taking. Some of them made them overweight. Some of them caused diabetes. I'm looking at my parents now. Thank God my mom was able to change her diet and she didn't have to go on cholesterol meds and low blood pressure meds because it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, I know. I have
glucose was
couple
high.
Family members that once they started one medication, it's like caused a cascading effect, other symptoms that had to be medicated. So it's definitely a tough feedback loop.
Yeah, it keeps me in the gym every day.
Yeah.
So that's that. I think it's yeah.
Do you have anything else on there that you want to talk about? How's training going? What have you been working on?
What do you mean?
Like with Buddha?
Just a lot of healing.
Yeah, you've been training with him like every day.
I have. I had to create a goal. So I don't even know if I feel like saying it on the podcast, but
you don't have to.
My goal, I would say now, because let's just start step by step, is just to train every day. And it's been a lot of healing, command discrimination, rewarding with toys way more, really rewarding with toys more than I ever have. I would say I just want more healing, less dependency, or me feel like there's a heavy dependency on treats, or he won't do something because of treats because his drive for the toy is so much more.
Right.
So I guess that, I've just been having fun. I've been wearing a sleeve. I've been having him guard me, which is not really the best thing. Like, I just been setting him up to like guard what it would look like if he's guarding in the blind. So I'm trying to build up his stamina for barking, because he has to stay there a while until I walk back, and forever how long the judge says, he
has to bark.
Yeah. And they'll make him bark a lot. And he's getting up there. So if I want to do anything else with Buddha, he's going to be 8 in February. I really have to step up. But I was going through some things that I needed to take care of parents and, life, parents and business and me and just everything. So I had to put some things aside, but now I feel like I'm getting back. I'm feeling much better. So
Yeah, that's awesome. He looks really good.
Yeah.
He looks really sharp.
Yeah, and I feel like he looks sharper, and I feel like he really likes working with me. So
He does.
that makes me feel better.
Yeah, he definitely likes the job, even like simple things like picking up all the bowls
Yeah.
out of everybody's crate at the end of the day. He loves doing that.
And he thinks he's so special too.
He does.
I mean, Rippa did that stuff when she was so young. Colton does it when he's so. But you should see the pride. You should see the pride where he's like, "Oh my god!" And then there was an empty bowl next to the water bowl. I'm like, "Go get it and bring it to me." Normally that works. Go get me the bowl. Go to Raven's crate. Get the bowl. And he'll do it. But this time he took the full water bowl and he's like, "I got it."
and
he
water
picked it
everywhere.
up. I'm like, "Son of a bitch." I'm like, "Good boy, Buddha." Because he's sitting there staring at me with the bowl in his mouth. And that's a good boy, Buddha.
Yeah. He loves doing it though. Without any rewards or anything. He just really enjoys something to do. Like when we let the dogs out after dinner, he visibly gets excited that he gets to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
He is a sweet guy.
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay, it's time for bed now." And, or, God forbid I like pick up the one bag. And they're like, "That's it. That's it." And I have had all these packages coming in because I was getting some new bite toys. And he goes to I'm like, don't stick your head in the box. Because he'll stare at it. So now we're to the point where if I leave items on top of the crate, he just sits there and stares at it if we haven't done something that day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And I feel bad because now he's so into it that he is staring at it saying, "Why don't you get a move on, lady? We didn't do our special thing today."
Yeah, if I don't do something with Raven every day, there definitely is an extra wiggle factor in her.
I'd rather she get worked. I'm like, "Yeah, you go to the field, Leah. I'll see you soon. Bring her back in a coma if you can." Okay.
Well, Tuesdays and Thursdays, she has some dog friends to play with. So sometimes I take it easy on those
for
days
sure.
because I know that she's going to be tired. And then usually on Sunday, if we're not doing a disc thing, I try to go up to New Hampshire and we work a little bit. And then on the weekends, she helps out in group class. But the other days, I have to take her to the field or go on a little hike. Or 2 times this week, we did pond walks because I've been trying to walk her more like on a leash, which is something that I did not do very much because it was extremely frustrating. Oh, maybe I could talk about that. Remember when we were at the Cape the first time and she was 1 and I just was crying?
Wanted to, that was not a peaceful walk.
So she gets so amped up. And the thing is that I taught her to heel very well. So if she's just doing her own thing and I say Raven heel, boom, she just like right in heel position. And when I say heel, I don't mean a competition style heel. Like I say foos if I want her to pay attention to me and heel. So if we're doing a training session and I want that nice like focused healing, I'll say foos. But if I want her to just walk nicely next to me, I'll say heel. And she'll do it. And she'll do it for a long length of time. But as soon as I say all done and she's free to do whatever, she is just like snorting coke. She's just back and forth, side to side, walking around.
Back and forth, side to side.
Yeah.
Shake it to the right, then clap your hands.
Yeah. And just psycho. And so what I do is I put her on the flexi lead or the long line and we do like 50-50 walks where I can let her explore and sniff, and then I call her into heel and we walk past a person or another dog, or maybe I do it just because I want to build more time in. And my goal is to go around the entire pond in heel position with very little breaks. But it isn't happening right away because she is a busy girl.
She doesn't have a casual walk.
No, even when I'm walking with her, if I say easy, like she'll be like, "Okay, we're walking slow." How long are we walking slow? Okay, it's lasting a little longer than I wanted it to. Oh my God, we're still going so slow. Oh my God, it's so slow.
Yep.
Oh God. And you can just see she's like a tea kettle, And when I walk with her, to walk at a pace where she's comfortable, so in between running and walking slowly, there's a bunch of different speeds, right? My speed, if anybody has ever seen me walk, is a relatively slow gait.
It's a saunter, if you will, not a gallop.
If you know me, you could pick me out of a lineup based on the way that I walk. But I'm comfortable walking at that pace. Raven is not comfortable walking at that pace. If I walk at the pace that I normally walk, she's just like pushing the pace. And it's not because she's being disobedient. It's like very unnatural for her to walk at that speed. So when I say heel and Raven's heeling next to me, I do walk a little bit faster. And that's something that I've been practicing because I'm not comfortable doing that. So when we're walking, like I'm up straight, I'm trying to keep my pace brisk, which for a regular person would just be a normal speed. So I'm trying to keep my pace brisk, and she does a phenomenal job. Is it something that she absolutely loves to do? No, especially if we're at the pond and she knows that like there's just exciting stuff all over the place. But I'm trying to build more time in because I got very spoiled with Ruben because naturally he just walks phenomenal on a leash. He respects leash pressure. He wants to be next to me. He could care less about exploring too much if we're on a leash walk. And I kind of got spoiled. So if you have a dog that's just really jazzed up to be outside and walking them on a loose leash is really difficult and they don't naturally like respect leash pressure or maybe you didn't teach it so well, just teach your dog to heel really, really well so you can ask them to do that if you need to. And the rest of the time, like put them on the long line or the flexi lead and sniff. That's what I say.
That's what you say.
Yeah.
We're going to put out another podcast next week because I still have that list of stuff.
Okay.
So, guys, we are putting another one out next week.
All right. Stick with the show.
I know we had a lot going on.
We did.
And now we're pulling it together.
We are.
In between picking up the fucking leaves. Okay? Because there's shit under them, guys, and you need to clean the leaves.
I know. I stepped in poop twice this week. I haven't stepped in poop in so long. So long. I mean, this week, twice. I'm like, are you kidding me? But it's these damn leaves.
It will be pristine. And Melissa, she said, Lori, I've been thinking about you, knowing that you're freaking out all over these leaves. I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm married to my leaf blower.
Yeah, and the dogs are eating them. It's just like...
I will say, I do love having the kids out with me, like our dogs.
Yeah.
And they're just hanging out with me all day. Like I'll always say to Raven, because she's always game to get up in the morning with me. I'm like, all right, Raven, you want to start our morning? She's like, absolutely. She gets her taco. She puts it in her. She's like, okay, let's go. She gets her toy, puts it in her mouth. Then we go downstairs and then do our morning chores. But she's always willing to like do my chores with me. Yeah. Buddha would rather stay with you in the morning. Mm-hmm. But then even in the afternoon, like I'll have Buddha out with me and he was chilling or all over the property, whatever. And he'll just go on the front stairs and stay there, lay down and just watch the circle. But he doesn't like, at least with Raven, she's kind of, she's like running around the whole time, checking things out. But Buddha, no, he stays at the circle. The other day, something was happening. I was leaf blowing down the hill a little bit, and I look up, and he stood up and was like in a stacked position and started air scenting. And then he started running in a circle. I'm like, I don't know what you smell, and I don't know what you see. I was looking around. I go, but you get in the fucking the house. Yeah. I had no idea what was out there. I was like, if he's seeing something that I don't see, and of course, like...
Well, and it was dusk, and we've seen coyotes around the neighborhood
right,
very
so I
frequently.
thought I didn't see it, and it's usually in my neighbor's yard. I live in a circle. We live in a circle of 5 houses. So next door, I see the coyotes hanging out at our neighbor's house right there.
Yep. And they're healthy.
Oh, my God. They look fabulous.
They really do.
They're on a raw diet.
Yeah, they are. Probably.
Right
or trash diet. I don't know what people are feeding. Everybody's taking videos of the coyotes instead of scaring them away. It drives me crazy on the community pages.
Well, our neighbor has like these, what do you call those, carport things?
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot of animals hiding under there.
Yeah, I do too. And there's never any action. There's, I think if people are walking around and, they see that and they're not, if there's a place that's quiet versus a place where there's people, like hopefully they'll pick the quiet spot, and our neighbor is very, very quiet. So it's like, there's so many places to hide.
Oh, he's an old guy. He has, who knows what's living over there.
I know. It's scary, actually.
I don't even want to think about it.
It's scary.
But he's quiet.
Mm-hmm. Can't complain.
And he doesn't bother me.
Can't complain.
So I'll take it.
Anywho, thank you so much for listening to the show. If you'd be so inclined, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with your friends. That's what helps the show grow. We're very, very grateful to those who listen on a regular basis. Laurie and I will do our best to be back here next week with another episode.
We will be.
I'm sorry. We will be back next week with another episode. If you have any feedback, feel free to reach out. You can reach out to us on Instagram at FPB Talks is the podcast Instagram account. I am at FitPet Boston. Laurie is at ABC Dog Training. I usually link our profiles in the podcast notes. So if you ever want to reach out to us, feel free. If you need
slide into my DMs.
Slide. Yeah, sure. If you need training, reach out. If you are interested in any other service, reach out. We are always taking new one-on-one private training clients, whether you have an adult dog that maybe have some behavioral issues, or if you have a puppy and you would like to get that puppy off on the right foot. We do offer group classes to those who have trained with us in the past. So if you train with us one-on-one and you're doing some work and you want to get into an environment where there are loads of distractions and work on your obedience, work on your relationship, we offer group classes about once a week. We've been doing them a little more frequently lately just to try to get all the classes in while the weather is still nice. And we'll probably be moving those classes indoors in the wintertime. That's what we did last year. It worked out really, really well. But we're always game for working outside because that's where all the action happens. But if you're interested, I know I posted a video last week about group class. A couple of people reached out and said, hey, I want to do that. And unfortunately, I had to say, well, you absolutely can. But if you'd be so kind, let's do a training class first because that's the rules. That's how we do group class. Mm-hmm. You got to get your foot in the door.
Yep.
So to speak. Okay, ta-ta for now. Thank you so much, and you'll hear from us next time.
Thank you.